How did you meet the woman of your dreams? This woman I delivered pizza to pulled up at the gas station and slipped me a $1,000 gift coupon to Chili's to come to her house while her ex picked up their daughter. She said she needed a witness while she packed because Mike had a temper and she was scared to be alone with him. Carla explained Mike had never hit her in front of Lynn, but he'd choked her, thrown her downstairs, and held a knife to her throat when she tried to leave. She'd been trying to escape for months, but every time she tried, he'd explode and she'd back down. All I had to do was stand by the door, pretend to help move furniture, and call 911 if Mike got violent. He'd completely alienated her from all her friends, so there was no one else she could ask. She promised he'd be there at 2:30, and it would be over by 2:45. I needed the money and figured nothing too bad could happen during a custody exchange. Mike arrived 10 minutes early. He was bigger than I expected. The kind of guy who had knife scars and a permanent scowl. He kissed Lynn's head and she pulled away. The first sign something was wrong. His friend stayed by the truck, arms crossed, staring at the windows like he was keeping watch. I stood by the door and pretended to move boxes while positioning myself so I could see them through the window. Carla started talking in this measured voice she'd probably practiced 100 times, and my stomach tightened, knowing what was coming. At first, Mike laughed like she was joking, but when Carla kept insisting Lynn's bag was packed, his smile disappeared completely. He reached down and grabbed Lynn's backpack, not hard enough to make her cry out, but I could see her stumbling. "This isn't enough for a weekend," he said loud enough that the neighbor looked over. Carla pulled Lynn back and kept talking, saying something about having everything she needs, and Mike's jaw started doing this twitching thing. I found myself gripping my phone harder, ready to move if he grabbed them again. Mike told Lynn to wait in the vehicle without asking her. She ran past Mike's friend, who was now leaning against the truck bed, cigarette in hand, eyes never leaving the house. As soon as Lynn was gone, he leaned forward and started talking fast and low, but I could only catch pieces. 5 years, everything I've done, you can't just... His hands were moving wildly, and he knocked over the welcome mat, then a potted plant, then punched the siding. The vinyl cracked and he pulled his hand back, laughing, flexing his fingers, then went right back to that intense whisper. The rapid mood switch scared me more than if he'd just stayed angry. Carla tried to step back inside, but Mike grabbed the doorframe and held it open, still smiling like they were having a normal conversation. My phone was already in my hand with 911 pre-dialed, my thumb hovering over the call button. Part of me wanted to intervene right then or just get the hell out of there, but I kept thinking about Chili's and how Carla had specifically said to wait unless he got violent. But watching her trapped there trying to close the door while he held it open made me feel like a coward for not stepping in. Mike was getting louder now, saying, "Who is he? Just tell me who he is," over and over while Carla kept saying there was nobody else. Mike pushed inside suddenly, and the door hit the wall with a crash that made everyone jump, including me. He stepped back out, laughing, apologizing to the air, then walked right back to the doorway and grabbed both sides of the frame. To anyone else it would have looked casual, but I could see her backing down the hallway and him not letting her close the door. My whole body was tense, ready to spring up, but I kept remembering Carla's instructions to stay invisible unless absolutely necessary. "We're going to work this out," he said louder now, "because you love me and I love you, and that's what people who love each other do." His friend started walking over, but Mike saw him coming and let go of the door frame, putting his palms up like he was surrendering. Sorry, just having a passionate discussion with my wife," he said, and his friend hesitated. That's when Carla said clearly, "I'm not your wife anymore," and Mike's face went completely blank, like she'd hit a switch. He stepped inside slowly this time, deliberately, and walked toward the living room where I could see the packed boxes. She pressed herself against the wall as he leaned down to look at the labels, his hand on her shoulder, holding her there. I started to move because this was it.